All right. Pleased to be joined by Seattle Mariners reliever Sergio Romo. Sergio, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Papa. Appreciate you having me.
Anytime. So, expectations with this Seattle team, it really does seem like after an incredible season last year that they've heightened, especially with some of the additions that this team has made. What excites you most about your new team and joining Seattle?
To be honest, so far it's I mean it may be cliche, but it's already like this team is already seems to be like closely knit. They a lot of returners from last year's team, and the way they finished, pretty strong. And then the expectations. I mean, the expectations, they expect to win. They expect to be competitive and got a real good shot at winning every day. And I think that's kind of what kind of drove me to come this way. Their way about going about it. Also, it cares so much to not care, at all. So it's just it's been a fun ride so far. It's been uplifting, believe it or not. It's not one of those like rejuvenating type things, but it's uplifting to see the youth be so confident and so sure of themselves. So definitely trying to feed off that already.
I love that. And you mentioned the youth of this Seattle team. There are a couple of guys that a lot of people are talking about, Julio Rodriguez being one of them. What have you kind of seen from him as far as just things you've noticed in his game in your short time in Seattle so far, or just noticed about him and his personality that more people should know about?
I think he's for his age, he's really laid back. He's really confident in who he is, and he seems to have an idea of who he is. And I think that's what may make him, may give him that special trait, that special quality. It's a confidence, but it's not arrogant. It's not conceitedness. It's not. It's literally pure, genuine belief in himself. And he walks because, again, at his age, to have an idea of who he is and the type of ball player he wants to be already has big goals. You know what I'm saying? So it's impressive. It really is, because he's just so calm about it all. It's like he's done it before, and I can't wait to see him. When it counts. It counts under the big bright lights with 40,000 people in the stands.
I think a lot of baseball fans can't wait to see that. And the AL West is just like a wild division when you think about all of the hitters and the talent that is in the AL West, not only on Seattle, but obviously in LA, you've got Shohei, you've got Mike Trout, Texas went out and signed some big bats. And then you've got Houston still, and Oakland. They traded a lot of players away, but still have some pieces as well. And so when you look at your division and just look at some of the matchups that you're going to be able to kind of have playing for Seattle. Obviously, with Oakland last year, you've got some familiarity going against these teams. But what are some of the matchups? I know baseball is very much a team sport, but you as an individual, as a pitcher, you're facing these guys one-on-one. So what matchups kind of get you excited most about playing in the AL West?
Oh, goodness. Well, I mean, you kind of hit on a few of them. Rated 1 and 2 in baseball play on the same team, and they're in our division. So the challenge of being able to face guys like that, you mentioned about Texas bringing in new guys, guys that I faced before, and like Seager, Simeon, and then they have, a young lineup too with, Garcia and a couple others that were in there that showed out last year, and showed that they at the very least they can compete at the big league level. So dangerous lineups. I mean, although Houston lost Correa, I mean, you can't look past anybody. You know what I mean? Like even their young stud that's projected to play shortstop every day there. Regardless of the experience, you got to respect the talent, you got to respect the ability. But you also, everybody in that batter's box for me as a pitcher, they're dangerous. It just takes one to swing, and it could be luck, it could be skill, it could be timing, it could be just oh my goodness, and that's really just what happened. You just run into a bat, and that could be the difference. So I think just in general, the league, our division has definitely gotten stronger, and I'm excited because we're expecting to win some ball games, and we know it's not going to be easy, but if we're expecting to win ball games in our division and we think our division is one of the best at this point, yeah, it makes for a good run overall, don't you think?
Definitely. And it's going to be some exciting games, to say the least, all season long. I listened to you on a podcast with Trevor Plouffe, I believe, and talking about the Miguel Cabrera, the final out in the World Series with the Giants, and just your process of that and you guys going through it was so fascinating to me, because I think a lot of maybe just casual baseball fans don't think that much is happening in that moment, like all of the thoughts kind of happening and the shaking off the signs and what you're trying to do, like the mind games of it all, and trying to get hitters uncomfortable. So for you, and it might not just be against hitters like Miguel Cabrera, it could be anyone, but when you're approaching those kind of the best hitters in the game, what's maybe something that a casual baseball fan doesn't know as far as going into the preparation? And I don't want you to give away all the secrets, obviously, but just as far as your preparation goes and how you like to get hitters off balance or get them thinking, like what goes into that for you?
Well, for me, it's obviously knowing who's in the box. You got to know who you're going to face, and not necessarily just their tendencies, but their strengths. Some people may call tendencies seem to see them as bad, but I would call them, their tendencies are usually their strengths. So I want to know their strengths are, if they can handle a breaking ball, what counts to handle breaking balls, that type of stuff. What counts, are they aggressive? Like what counts to throw my fastball in, because everybody knows that I pitch backwards, so it ain't about tricking them anymore. It's just now about pitching and setting pitches up and stuff like that, being a little more crafty. And for me, where they are in the batter's box, where they stand, are they up tall? Because I've noticed throughout my career that at moments, some guys, they usually stand up all tall and big, and then against me, they kind of get in there and they're all small and compact. And it was like, wait a minute, guys have tried to adjust to me in different ways. So I pay attention to those type of things. Those little details is what helped me stay competitive. It's not trying to stay a step ahead, but it's literally trying to be competitive in the moment and finding any edge at that time, any little detail that could help me on maybe they're tipping on, in terms of, the hitter at times will let you know what they're looking for. If they're looking for the heat, or they're looking for a breaking ball, or they're trying to hit the ball the other way, or pull the ball, hit the ball in the air. Like hitters, they have their ways of letting you know these things. So for me, it's really about just kind of picking and choosing when I could play my little tricks.
I love that. It's like the game within the game, which is a really cool aspect of being a pitcher, I'm sure. And when we talk about the batters that you face, like that Miguel Cabrera one is probably just a legendary moment as far as when you think back to over the course of your career as some of the batters you face. Like, doesn't get much bigger than that, facing a future Hall of Fame guy, World Series on the line kind of thing. Is there a batter, and I know that, or maybe this is the case, where you've been on the mound, and have you ever felt, I don't want to say scared, because that's not the right word, but just like a presence, like that this guy is different, like this feels different than a normal guy?
Well, yeah, I've faced guys like Aaron, Nolan Arenado, Goldschmidt. Those guys are pretty, how do you say, they're good, and they take the game seriously. They're competing. Stanton, Aaron Judge is that way. They're just big men. They get in the box and they got this little swag about them. But again, it's not arrogance. It's just sheer belief and knowledge of who they are. Like, they have a real good idea of who they are. So I think those are the type of guys that when they get in the box, they they mean business. Dude, think about it. Even like Aaron Fletcher or Adam Fletcher. I'm sorry. Maddie, I'm sorry. Why am I getting David Fletcher? I'm sorry.
Yes.
David Fletcher, he's so scrappy. He's so whatever, but he's in the box, and he's not that, he's much taller, and his presence is much bigger than what he stands, Altuve is similar, what I'm saying? So it's not necessarily the size. It's just, I think you can see the size of the dog, once the guy's in the box, the matter, the care factor. And some guys ooze confidence, and and they don't always have to be the biggest guys, to do so. So I'd say guys like I'll give David Fletcher that nod, just because it's competitive at bat every time. Obviously the Trouts, the Otanis,
Yeah.
but like Judge, Stanton, those guys, even Simeon, I'll give them that. Like they got this presence about them now, and that they know who they are, they have an idea, and they know they can crush, So it's fun to go against, because you definitely know you're going up against the best. So that's gratifying in its own self.
I'll switch gears now to Twitch, because I know that you, just looking on your social media accounts, Twitch is a big thing in your life. What are your go-to video games right now? What are you playing? What have you enjoyed playing?
Well, right now it's mainly, some Rebirth Island and some Warzone, do that one. I do Destiny 2.
I love Destiny.
Destiny's been one of my favorite games for a really long time. I play Destiny. I play Destiny, I play Warzone. I got believe it or not, I got the PS3 emulator.
Oh, okay.
So I've been playing that revamped college football 14. So I've been playing that a lot lately. Let's see. That's really it right now. I mean, once my sons are getting into like Elden Ring and what was the other one that they were playing? They try to get back into Titanfall too.
Okay.
So that type of stuff. So it just depends really on the mood. If we're trying to shoot somebody or trying to tackle somebody.
I love it. Honestly, it's more the same with me too. It's either it's sports or it's shooting somebody. That's probably the main team that a lot of people play.
I've been playing that 22, that show 22 though. That's pretty heat also.
I just started yesterday.
It's pretty heat. It really is. I like it.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun. I played last year all the time, and I'm happy to be back on the show grind right now, starting up Diamond Dynasty again, just grinding away on it. So it's a lot of fun. I'll wrap up here with just some rapid fire questions for you, just some funner kind of outside the box ones that I have for you here. So what's the ballpark snack that you can't say no to?
Oh wow, we're going to White Sox and they got these little corn cocktail, like a corn soup, and I don't know, they put like the Mexican style, they put like the fajita cheese and the lemon and some hot sauce, and it's just the elotes is what they call it, the elote at what is US Bank Park, I think it is.
I think so, yeah.
So yeah.
Those sound good. I've never been to Chicago, but next time I'm there, or if I ever go there, I'll give those a try. Who's your favorite baseball player of all time?
Greg Maddux. Professionally, Greg Maddux. Amateur-wise, my dad. My dad, he's pretty good, I thought, in my mind. But Greg Maddux, by the time I was able to understand what was happening, like pitching-wise, and like what was going on in the games, what we would watch on TV, he wasn't, it didn't throw as hard as he used to, you know what I'm saying? So he was always just kind of crafty, hitting his spots, making the ball move. And that's kind of my forte, the day I throw a ball straight is the day I'm retiring,
I love that. That's funny. I like that a lot. And honestly, Greg Maddux is someone that I didn't watch growing up a lot, but playing the show, you see the velocities and all those things. And so using him is so different than using a guy like Nolan Ryan, for example, who's throwing 102 in the game. And so I can see the differences in how, like, you got to be nuanced. You got to hit your spots with those pitches. And locating it is so important.
You got to pitch, like, just straight up. You got to pitch, and I take a lot of pride in my ability to pitch and not just get up there and be able to tell you guys that I have an idea of what I'm doing on the mound. So it's part of the cool vibe.
I love that. What is the best ballpark to play in that's not your home field? So your favorite place to go in on the road?
Well, right now it'd be San Francisco. To go play Giants, Oracle Park, I think is what it's called now. That place, I tell you, I got some great experiences there, and being able to play there quite a bit. But ballpark wise, I think it's definitely a pitcher's park, and I know they brought the fences in since I was there, but it's still an awesome place to pitch, and especially when it's cold and the wind's blowing in, and you get to throw in. So it's I'd say Oracle Park for sure.
I've heard great things about watching games there as well. I've never been, but I've heard just everyone that goes there is like, this is the best park to watch a game at.
Yes, it's pretty sweet. It really, really is.
Definitely a bucket list. Last one for you. Your weirdest superstition or the weirdest superstition you've ever seen from a teammate? I know athletes in general, very superstitious. So
well, I'll go with mine. I like to skip over the line. And if I don't have a line in the bullpen when I'm coming into the game, I'll skip over from the edge of the warning track to the grass.
Okay.
And it always tends to be with my left foot forward. I don't know why. I don't know. I just have no idea why. It's just something I've always done, and even as a kid, like I just couldn't touch the line for some reason. What was that? A step on the crack and you break your mama's back? Yeah, I never wanted to break my mama's back,
100%. It's like walking home from school on the sidewalk. You're just trying to avoid all the cracks.
Yep. I'm telling you, I love my mama, so I always jumped over those lines for sure.
Oh, that's awesome. And last one I'll do too, actually. Now I'm just thinking of one more because I know baseball, such a long season. Obviously, you guys got to be loose and light at times, right? Because it's a long season. You're playing every day. So what is the best prank you've seen around teammates?
Goodness.
Yeah. If there's one you can share.
I've actually played a few, and my favorites to get on guys is it happened there earlier in the spring too. I won't tell you who did it or what exactly happened, but let's just put it this way. I ended up a teammate of mine, a young teammate of mine, had his clothes put on the flagpole here at the stadium. His clothes, like I'm talking every article, like even each sock had its own little like section to float in there, and I did that. I've gotten the hot seat on some of my teammates where I put a piece of tape from the metal chairs, those metal folding chairs. I put a piece of tape underneath it, and I ran the piece of tape for pretty decent ways away underneath the bench, and it lit that thing. And once it got there, like, I've done that to the bat boys or two, or a coach or two. Yeah, I've gotten a coach too.
I love it. You got to keep it light. You got to keep it loose. It's a long season, and we're really appreciative of your time. It's going to be a great season for you guys, and we're really excited to watch you guys play and hopefully see you guys in the playoffs. No,
that's what's up. I appreciate you having me on. I tell you what, the expectations here of this team are real. It's not just, you're supposed to expect, telling ourselves or like being delusional or anything. We got a real shot to be competitive every day. And I think it'll be some entertaining baseball coming out of this squad every night. So thank you. Appreciate the best wishes. And here we go. Blessed to be able to say that it's in a couple days, it'll be opening day 14 in a row for me. So I've been blessed for the entire ride, and I'm thankful for it all. So got to keep enjoying it, keep tripping them while I can.
I love that. And I think Seattle is kind of like Canada's second team. Obviously we've got the Blue Jays, but Vancouver being so close, I know a lot of Vancouver people just will go to Seattle and watch baseball. So I feel like Seattle is Canada's second best team. So there will be a lot of people watching this that will be supporting you from up in the Great White North.
All right, that's what's up. Appreciate you guys. I appreciate the time also. Thanks for having me.
Anytime. Take care.